Volvo India has been slowly but steadily launching one electric car per year. It started with the XC40 Recharge, then they got the C40 Recharge last year, and then again there's the XC40 Recharge. Well, that's exactly partially true because this is the XC40 Recharge, but this is the single motor variant. That means there's just a single motor that's placed on the rear axle, unlike the all-wheel drive version that came earlier. But this car has lesser performance, smaller battery pack, and most importantly, it's at least 3 lakh rupees cheaper than the all-wheel drive version. So should you really pay attention to this car? Well, we'll tell you in this video. Welcome to Car and Bike. But before we proceed, try to hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon besides it. Despite being a lower variant, it largely looks the same as the all-wheel drive version. You do get the LED headlamps but miss out on the pixel LED headlamps and fog lamps. The 31-litre frunk has been retained. It looks the same from the side profile, runs on 19-inch alloy wheels, while the only update at the rear is the Recharge badging on the boot, which doesn't say twin this time. The boot space is a decent 419 litres, which should be good enough for your weekend outings or a quick airport run. The cabin layout is unchanged and still feels up to the current times. And this car misses out on a lot of features. There's no 360-degree parking camera, there's no Harman Kardon audio system, and for phone connectivity you will have to use your wires as well. But fret not, this still has a lot of features. It gets 8-speaker audio system, dual zone climate control, this digital driver display, the touchscreen size remains unchanged, and these seats, they are very comfortable and you get brilliant side bolstering, and these are powered seats, mind you, and with memory function. Apart from that, there's a wireless charging pad here, there's physical controls for audio and your AC controls here. Not all AC controls, but there's still some here, and there's a 12-volt socket here, a Type-C socket here. Then there's this nifty storage space here for small knick-knack. Then there are these 2 cup holders, and this armrest also gets brilliant storage space, and you also get some space to hold your trash, and you can actually clear it with this. But there are still some small niggles, such as these door pockets are not very wide. You can only put in half-a-litre bottles, and this glove box is not very usable either. Now, Volvo being Volvo, this might be a lower variant of the XC40 Recharge. They haven't skimped on safety features. So you still get 7 airbags, a lot of active safety features, and level 2 ADAS features like lane keep assist and lane departure warning and adaptive cruise control. Now, the only motor in this car is planted on the rear axle, and the power figures are quite less when compared to the all-wheel drive version. You get around 238 bhp and 420 Newton meters of peak torque, and the 0 to 100 time is also 7.3 seconds. It's quite pedestrian when compared to the all-wheel drive version, which gets around 402 bhp, 660 Newton meters, and a supercar or maybe a sports car rivaling 4.9 seconds of 0 to 100 sprint time. But even then, the performance is not at all lacking. Once you press your foot hard on that accelerator pedal, you get pinned to your seat and your smile just keeps getting wider. Of course, it's an electric car, so the performance tapers off once you cross maybe 100-120 kilometers per hour. Now, the battery pack is also smaller. You get a 69 kilowatt-hour battery unit instead of a 78 kilowatt-hour battery pack. But even then, the claimed range at 475 kilometers, it is much better in this car. Now, standalone, this car has a decent performance, and that performance is also amplified with its handling. You can actually corner very confidently with this car, and if you're in a corner and you actually press the throttle hard, the chances of fun actually increase by quite a bit. And of course, there are electronic nannies, so you don't get caught out by surprise. The ride quality of this car is on the firmer side, but I suspect it's slightly softer than the all-wheel drive version, which is quite stiff and can be very unnerving on bad roads. This one will still soak up those bumps, but you'll still have to be wary of big potholes. You will have to slow down for them, because at the end of the day, this is a soft roader and not exactly a full-blown SUV. Apart from that, you also get one pedal drive, which means you can drive with just one pedal, and there will be some significant regeneration of your power when you lift off the throttle, which helps when you are driving in stop and go traffic. But don't get used to it, because it might not be the most useful feature when you're driving flat out on highways. Now comes the most important bit of driving an electric car. How much of a realistic range can you expect from this car? Well, in a mixed cycle, we can expect around 375 to around 425 kilometers of real world range. And that's quite a good number. And it's not very far off from the claimed figure of 475 kilometers. And of course, if you change your driving cycle, if you drive with a lighter foot, you get used to driving, you get better conditions for your battery to regen a lot, then the number can also go up to around 450 kilometers per charge, and that's quite a brilliant number for a car of this size. Now, should you consider buying one? Well, the XC40 Recharge single motor certainly impresses. Its price tag is 3 lakh rupees lower than the all-wheel drive variant, but when it comes to EVs, shock value matters a lot, which is a lot in the all-wheel drive version due to its brilliant performance. In our opinion, if you are buying an EV so expensive, it's better that you get it with all the bells and whistles. So it's better to go for the XC40 Recharge all-wheel drive instead of the rear-wheel drive version.